Hey, good morning. It is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot. We are here today to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. So as you can see by my environment, my mind is really cluttered right now and very messy, and falling apart because my lights are falling down. If you want to shift or change your external environment, you do have to shift and change the energy that you are currently in. You have to actually do the things, take the actions, open to receive, all that kind of stuff. And this reading will hopefully help you. The first part of the reading, we look at the tarot of the headspace and heart space of divine masculine and feminine. The second part of the reading, which I think is the most important part, to be honest with you, even though the first part might be the juicy part in terms of finding out things you didn't know about your person. And it's not because I'm reading about your person. I'm reading the energy of the collective masculine and feminine. So that is your energy, and your person probably reflects it back to you, and that's why you see that. That's how it goes. So I read all that juicy stuff, and then the oracles come, and the oracles are where you get your advice for your week. This is the stuff that actually helps shift. We start off the whole video with me saying you can shift and change your energy, and then that will change your interactions and your external environment. But if you don't kind of follow through with the messages and the advice from the oracles part, you're probably going to be cycling through a lot of the same stuff next week. So really take the advice. I used to not take my own advice. I used to just be like, well, I'm a reader. Like, I know the stuff, which isn't true because I don't know it. It just like comes through me. But before I was really in tune with the whole process of what I was doing, I was like, like, oh, I already know these things. And then my life was like not good. And I was like, why is this happening? Started to take the advice from the oracles, and things are definitely much better than they were. So definitely take that advice portion to heart. It's a very important part of the reading. All right, let us begin. We're going to begin how we always do, where we're going to think about what we think we need and then find out what we actually need. This is a very powerful part when I do these readings on TikTok Live. Hi, if you want to book a reading, you can do it at the link in my profile. If you're watching me here on YouTube, click the link below. I'd be so happy if you booked a private reading today. I definitely need as much support as I can get over the next few weeks. I was supposed to be moved into an apartment 5 days ago in Massachusetts, and I'm not there. So I really need to get there as soon as I can. And my obstacle in my mind is a financial one. So if you want to help me relieve that, then please book a reading today. I would be really, really grateful. And there's a lot of options that you have to choose from. If you need help, you can send an email to me at that link and say, like, I'm not sure which reading to choose, and I will get you sorted. If you're intimidated by pricing on virtual session or anything like that, send me an email. I'll work with anybody, as much as I can. Okay. So right now, I want you to think about what you think that you need that would make you feel better. There is something that you think right now, if this happened, if I heard these words from this person, if I got this phone call, if I got this indication of how they felt, if they came to get me, if I got a new job, if I moved finally to Massachusetts, if I got a bunch of money so that I could do what I need to do, like whatever it is that you think you need right now in this moment to make you feel better just right now. What do you think that is that would make you feel better? Okay, listening to myself and being like, I highly doubt that's what you actually need, but okay. So, that is what you think you need. Here is what you actually need. Okay, adjustment. So this is the Justice card in the, is it? I think it is Justice. Thoth Tarot is funny. It's because it switches. This is 8. So yeah, so it switches the Strength and the Justice card. So it's Justice. It's called Adjustment in this deck. It's about balance. It's about the truth, because Justice supposedly, right, like helps us to see the truth. It's about, I do think there are some adjustments that need to be made in the way that you are thinking about the balancing of the scales. And I think we'll probably get more about that in this reading, but there is something about how you are thinking about the scales being balanced right now that is in and of itself imbalanced. like you might be thinking, the best example I have is there, like in a situation where you think, I have given everything, and in order for the scales to be balanced, this person needs to give back to me. And that thinking, like, I can see how that makes sense, right? Because that's about like reciprocity. You should get as much as you put in. But there is a quid pro quo aspect that is still here, a something for something that is still here that might not be really serving you, because it isn't just like I give all this love and I should get this proclamation of love in return because I did that. It's like, why did you give the love? Was it to get it back? Or was it because you felt called to love and you followed your heart and did that? And so I think if you can just adjust your thinking about this into not like, well, I did all of this for you, so why wouldn't you do all of this for me? Now, this is, I'm a Leo sun and a Leo moon, and Leos are very generous. However, while we are very generous, we never forget anything. So, it's like we're like a mafia don. Like 12 years from now, you and I are on a vacation. We go out to dinner. We have some kind of an argument or a fight. And like at that table while we're at dinner, I would be like, I can't believe it. For the last 12 years, I have done nothing but give you all of my love, all of my heart. I have done all of these things for you. Do you remember when I did this? Do you remember when I did that? Do you remember when I did this? How is it that I could have done all of these things and your memory is so short that now you're upset with me about this thing and you don't care about all the things that I have done forever? That's a Leo. That's a Leo. That's like, yeah, let me do this for you. And really doesn't expect you to do anything. Like, I'll buy you this. I'll buy you that. I'll buy you this. You don't have to take me out and buy me the same thing. You don't have to do exactly the same thing. But 12 years down the line, if you're upset with me and criticize me in any way, you bet your ass I'm going to bring that up and be like, remember when I did all these things for you? Because there is an aspect of quid pro quo in that type of giving. And Leos are egotistical. So it's an ego type of a giving, right? Not always. I'm not saying like every time I give something, I expect something in return. That's kind of my point. I don't, but I feel like I have credit, like I've built credit up, right? Like, and that is still a quid pro quo consciousness. So I think there is this feeling in this collective. The feminine feels like I have a lot of credit with this masculine, and it's time for me to cash that shit in. And then the masculine energy is like, I have a lot of credit with this feminine. I've sacrificed these things. I've done all this stuff behind the scenes she doesn't know about and haven't told her about. I've like professed my love to her in all these myriad ways that are very subtle and should be enough. And so, she needs to give me something. Like, I'm trying to give her this, but she's not even looking at my social media. How am I supposed to, right? Meanwhile, the feminine is like, I'm not looking at your social media because you haven't given me anything real in however many years. So there's going on. And that needs to be adjusted. We have to find a new way of thinking about it. You didn't give love to the person, to the masculine energy, because you wanted a transaction. You couldn't even help it. You didn't even want to, and you just kept loving that person. You kept giving to them. You couldn't help yourself. And you had to admit that you couldn't even understand why you would be so compelled to do it. And then you started to understand unconditional love, and that the divine gives you that unconditional love also, right? I'm seeing here, Leo sounds like a Capricorn. I love a Capricorn, so that probably that is something we share. And yes, there is a standoff going on right now. Okay, let's get into it. We're starting with the divine masculine energy today because he had almost all of his cards showing, and divine feminine left a few more hidden. So she's gonna go next. I'm saying he and I'm saying she, but I am genuinely just using those terms to have two distinct energies here. If there was another way to do it, I would do it, because I don't want you to associate this energy with the gender of yourself or your person. And for as many readers as tell you that, based on the comments that I get, I can tell that most, I'm not gonna say most of you, a lot of you still think that when you get my TikTok reading, my 3-minute reading, which by the way, there's no divine masculine reading yet because I did it and TikTok crashed and it went away. So I didn't have time to do another one, and I'll just do one later today. It'll come out this later this evening probably. So sorry that you have to wait for that, but apparently that was kismet. I have a Leo moon too. Leo sun, Leo moon, and I'm a Pisces rising. The Pisces rising saves us all from the horrific like ego that I would have had otherwise, because my Pisces part of self is like, you're worthless. You should do everything for everyone. If I didn't have that, I think I would be a holy terror. But yes, so when I am reading this energy, I am not reading your person. I don't know your person. Your person, maybe I do. Maybe your person called me and set up a private reading, but I wouldn't know that. They didn't ask me if I would read for them, which means I don't have permission to go read the energy of a person who is not requested. Some readers are comfortable with doing that. I'm not. I'm a consent-based reader. You have to give me your consent. But that doesn't mean I can't give you insight into your person, because really your person is just going to be a reflection of you. So I actually have probably even deeper insight, because I can give you the sense of why you're even attracting this person in the first place, not just what the person's thinking and feeling about you, which ends up being irrelevant, to be honest. Because people can think and feel all they want and not do anything. So keep that in mind. When I read the masculine energy, I am truly, truly reading your own energy. When I read the feminine energy, it is your energy. If you don't know how that applies to you, you have to really start to look at, okay, think about feminine energy as the creative side of self, the emotional side of self. The masculine energy is the intellectual side of self and the action side of self. Feminine receives, the masculine gives, the feminine waits, the masculine takes action. The feminine tunes into her intuition, the masculine follows the impulses and goes and does. So that's how it works inside of you. And if you're attracting somebody who's doing annoying things, you're probably doing annoying things to yourself. You're probably doing similar things to yourself. And you're a Pisces rising too? Oh, I love that. Capricorn rising and Cancer sun. Ooh, family. You are very family oriented. It is probably your single most desire to be cozy with the family and provide for them very much. So when I am reading, remember that this is your energy, and you have to figure out how it applies to you. If you can do this, this is a huge, huge secret. It's literally why you're on the twin flame journey. If you're considering yourself on that journey, it's to learn this. It's not about the other person. I know you want it to be. I know you want it to be, but it's okay. It's not. And there's a bunch of readers who are going to say, oh, you can't be with anyone but your twin, and you just won't be happy. I don't know. Maybe they're right, but I've never gotten a single message from the divine that said that. Not one. In fact, I often get the opposite message. You have to let go of the physical person to actually tune into your happiness and tune into your higher self and come into union. So I don't know, you can believe whatever is most comfortable for you. For me, it is not comfortable for me to believe that my creator would put me on the planet and then give me one person out of the billions of people in this world that would match me. I don't think the creator would do that, but that's me. So I think it's important for you to understand how this energy is your energy, because let's get this straight. Every single person that you are going to manifest is going to be like versions of the twin, because that's your energy, and your twin represents that archetypal energy. You'll be like, why do I keep having the same relationship over and over again? Because you haven't shifted your energy. So long explanation, but for those of you that are new here or this is your first time, seeing how I read, it's really important to understand that. Okay, let's take a look and see the overall headspace of the masculine energy today. Hey, look, it's the Mother of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. So all this masculine can think about is a specific feminine energy. Oh, thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate that. A specific feminine energy. Someone he sees as nurturing, caring, independent, able to create wealth, creative and abundant. Amy, this is exactly the info I need for this journey. I've been wondering how to shift the energy. Yay, I'm so happy you came here. Welcome. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Everybody's popping in. Yay, we're all here. We're just starting. So if you're just getting here, we're just getting into this masculine headspace. Queen of Pentacles on the brains, thinking a lot about this person. Can't stop thinking. I'm feeling really almost sick of it. Like, you know, like when you are done with a diet, you're done with deprivation. Like, I tried vegan for a while. It did not work for me physically. Mentally, it kind of threw me for a loop too, because for me, eating meat kind of helps slow down the Kundalini energy in my body. But when I was vegan, I couldn't tell if I was dreaming or awake. Like, it was the weirdest, craziest feeling. And like, maybe I should be vegan and go be in like a hut somewhere in the desert and I'll have like incredible visions. I don't know, but it was scary for me. So I ended up going back to eating meat while I was vegan. Every single night, I dreamed about eating meat. Every single night. And you're thinking about my lion placements, like my Leo, that's like, if I don't run across the zebra when I'm outside, that I could like shave and take a bite out of, like I'm not going to be okay. So that final like week when I was on every single day, I was thinking, should I do this anymore? I don't even know if it feels good. It's like I'm low energy. I'm like, I just want to eat a burger. I just want to have chicken. Like, I just want meat. Like, I just want it every day. And finally, I just remember being like, I'm not going to be vegan anymore. I'm not going to do it. I can't. I'm so sick of thinking about whether or not to do it that I can't do it anymore. And I was so looking forward to that next moment when I was going to allow myself to eat what I had been depriving myself of for so long. And that is how this masculine feels right now. I cannot spend another day thinking about this, because if I don't do something, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. I dream about her. I think about her constantly. I wake up, she's on my mind. I go to sleep, she's on my mind. I wake up in the middle of the night, she's on my mind. Like, I cannot stand it anymore. I feel like if I just eat it, then I'll stop thinking about it. You know what happened when I started eating meat? I stopped dreaming about it because I had it. I just had it whenever I felt like it, and I felt better. And it worked for me. That's where masculine is. Thank God, because in the back of his mind, underlying all his thoughts and decisions, is that this hanged man energy, this pause, is draining him of all of his energy. Like the vampire back here, he is completely drained of his energy. He's no longer feeling like he can sustain this suspension. It is absolutely the worst feeling he has ever had. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at them, but like, yeah, yes, thank you. It is the worst feeling that I have ever had either. So please, God, let this be a revelation to this person to just eat the meat. And I mean that on all levels. All right. The first thing on this divine masculine's mind is the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Oops. I just talked at length about giving and expecting something in return, right? This masculine is realizing I need to make some adjustments, because I can see, okay, I can like, oh God. He's even embarrassed, kind of like ashamed, sort of a feeling of being like, I really thought that I needed this divine feminine to show me again, because she was already showing me a lot. She was very generous with her time, with her affection, with her like with her creativity. Like this feminine maybe even did these really creative, beautiful things for this person. All of this stuff, right? All of this stuff she gave me. And I literally was thinking to myself, I'm feeling him being like, am I an idiot? He's like, I was literally thinking to myself that I needed her to show me that she wants me to come and give back to her so that I could be certain that I wouldn't be rejected. Really? She already gave me all this stuff. Like, I breadcrumbed her for so long. And I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. It's okay. We're all idiots. It's fine. We're allowed to be. That's the whole point. We get to be idiots and then figure out we were idiots and do something different. Okay. So how's he feeling this current moment? I told you the desire is out of control. This is a, sexy energy desire over here, but it's also just passion for something. It's like, it can't be contained. It's literally bursting out of him. He has to do what he wants to do, right? He has to. What does he want? The Son of Cups. He wants to express his feelings. Not expressing his feelings for so long, it's draining him. He's realizing if you suppress the feminine side of yourself, you get sick, you get drained, you get uninspired. Like, you can't. The feminine is the muse, right? The feminine side of self is the one that's directly connected. So if you suppress your feelings, if you keep pushing them down, numbing them out, hiding them, you're a wreck. You are a wreck. And this divine masculine is like, I don't want to be a wreck anymore, right? I want to express this love that I feel. I want to say how I feel. Clarifying the Six of Pentacles, and I can't make it up, is the Justice card. We talked all about this adjustment at the very beginning of what we actually need. And I talked to you about how I was like, I'm a generous person, but I keep a tab. And if you keep a tab on generosity, then it's not truly from your heart. Like, I can't say that because I still do things from my heart, but it's not entirely without a transactional aspect, right? I do things for people who I love. I don't do things for anybody. I do things for people who I love. So there's love there, but I'm keeping a tab, right? That's my ego doing that. And that is what needed to be adjusted. This masculine, I told you, is in the same place. The feminine is like, I gave you all this and you just need to talk to me now because I gave you everything you needed to be able to just come and talk to me. And the masculine is like, I gave you all of these subtle indications of my love. At the very least, you could let me know that you want me to talk to you. Imagine you just did things because you couldn't do anything else but give. And that's where the masculine is right now. This is unfair. And it's on the masculine side. The divine feminine, oh my God. Oh, I just looked over it. I wasn't paying attention to her side. Wait till we get there. Stop. The divine feminine has been overly generous. She's been in the masculine energy of giving to the masculine. Unfortunately, this sets up an imbalance because in order for the masculine to level the playing field, he feels he has to give so much more because he's supposed to be the masculine energy. So if the divine feminine gives him a poem or something, he has to give her an entire book of poetry, right? If she gives him like a picture of herself in her favorite dress, he has to like spend one entire week wearing every single outfit that she loves, that he has. Like he he doesn't understand that you can't measure it. It's not about measuring it, because he's got that qualitative analytical, that masculine side of me is the side that keeps the tab. Like, the feminine side doesn't have a tab. The masculine side is like, okay, well, we gave this, we gave that, we gave this. So this person should probably be pretty nice to us for the rest of our lives. Right? That's so Leo energy. And it's like, I'm going to be your friend for the rest of your life. I mean, and I'm the best, obviously. So like, why wouldn't you just give back to me? Entitlement kind of Leo energy, to a certain extent, but the divine masculine realizes how terribly unfair this is. Clarifying the strong desire that he has is that new beginning. And this was the very first card that came out for the reading that got deleted by TikTok. I have some issues right now with TikTok, but that is one of them, because it was a good reading. And the very first cards that came out were the Fool, and it came out with the 10 of Pentacles. And it was literally like, I want to take this leap into our happiness. I want to make this real. Like, I want to do this now. And I think that's probably why that it didn't get out to the masses, because I think not every masculine energy is there. And it wasn't meant to be seen by everybody. But 100%, this masculine wants to start new. He has a strong desire to just take the leap, no longer be cautious, just believe that he is supported if he leaps. And who does he want to leap towards? The divine feminine. This is the Queen of Wands. He wants to give this very attractive, magnetic, fiery Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. But he wants to give this beautiful, spiritual, confident, shining divine feminine an expression of his feelings for her. Tell her, you're hot. I want to be with you all night long. Kind of an energy. All right. Now let's look at his heart space. Woo, we're already 30 minutes in. Good Lord. It's probably going to be a long reading today. I'm going to take a drink of coffee. How are you, Tammy? I see you here. Thank you for the rose, my babes. I appreciate the gifts and the likes so much. All right. Been exhausted and craving my feminine. Hi, Nicole. Sorry, I didn't see that right away. I don't get as many comments on YouTube, so I'm not used to seeing them again. But welcome for YouTube Live. Most of the time I'm seeing everybody's over here on TikTok. So welcome. 10:55 on the clock as we look at Divine Masculine's heart space. What did I tell you? Well, I told you he was utterly defeated. He was sick of thinking about his feminine. He can't stand it anymore. He just wants to stop doing it. Because what he's sick of is the constant chattering. See this, these dark thoughts here that are driving him crazy. Oh, she's not going to say, she's going to reject you. You took too long. You did, like you fucked it up while because you took too long. Like you did stuff in between that she's not going to like. How are you even going to talk to her? What are you going to do? Are you going to call her? Are you going to take her out? Like, how are you going to do that? What's going to happen? Like, what do you mean? I don't like, why are you still thinking about her? Can you stop thinking about something else? Just give up. Just walk away. Like, you don't even want to be with her anymore. Like, he's really sick of this. He feels sick of his headspace. This is the part of him that's like, stop being an idiot. Like, why are you thinking about this so much? There's not anything to think about. There's nothing to think about. The only thing that makes sense from this point is to surrender to this feeling that you have for the feminine energy. Just surrender that you want that nurturing, you want that loving, you want that care, and you want that specific divine feminine who you have chosen for this role. So stop trying to think your way out of it. There's no way out of it. Like there's no other way. Clarifying this drained energy, being so sick of this weight, is this 3 of Pentacles energy. So we're seeing that there's probably third-party interference that has caused this divine masculine to have to wait. I'm hearing for a lot of people, it's just plain old work, okay? I don't think that at this point in the collective, there are very many of us in the first wave, because I'm just going with this. It's been about 3 years that I've been reading this energy, and so there's this one feminine and masculine collective that I'm in that I've been kind of carrying through the last 3 years. And so for those of us that are in that stage, most of us are not dealing with an active third party. There may have been some like shallow sexual energy in the connection, like multiple third parties type of a deal, but nobody that's like got a hold on this masculine outside of potentially the first part, you know, the like an ex-wife or mother of his children. And yeah, seriously, Amy. So we're definitely seeing here that this, for some, there may be a third party person, like a karmic partner or a past partner that still has some kind of a hold or a connection to this masculine. Um, and it's what has caused this hold up, like the stoplight, like we couldn't go forward because of this or whatever. But for many others, it really is the workplace, because this is a card also about work and building something and collaboration. And this can be about waiting to partner or waiting to collaborate or waiting to work with the divine feminine as well. So all of that is going on here in the back of the mind and in the heart space. So it's underlying everything, which means all these thoughts that he's having, underlying it is this thought that it is absolutely draining me to either have to work or have to have this other partner or person come between me and my divine feminine. And I have to make it stop. That stop sign for me. And this being fed up, this has to stop. If there's a third party in my life, like a job, an addiction, a person, whatever, I have to end it. I have to walk away from whatever it is, because I will never rest. I will never rest until I absolutely am convinced that my feminine and is my feminine and we are together. So he's realizing that right now. Clarifying the Six of Pentacles is the Empress. So the Empress that was giving to him and giving and giving, nurturing this connection, his whole world. This is the problem. If divine feminine became masculine's whole world, how could you possibly give back? If she's your everything and you don't feel like you're anything, then what do you have to give her? Because if you have to give her more than she gives you, impossible. That's how he's thinking. It's impossible. And that is what caused him to breadcrumb, because he didn't feel he could do more. There's an alarm going off in my brother's room. Lord knows how long that'll happen. Remember I told you what he was hiding, or that there was one card that I couldn't see in his spread. And then when I was shuffling the heart space, the Seven of Swords covered that one card. Well, it was this Ace of Wands. And the Seven of Swords for me in this context is, I mean, you could see this as somebody trying to sneak off and have some kind of sexual energy, but it's not. That's not what it is, because it's in the current placement. And we looked at the past where he wants to balance the scales. So this isn't a masculine who wants to sneak off and get his needs met. This is a masculine who wants to figure out how to surprise the feminine, because he wants to surprise her. Because he felt she gave him so much, because she's so important to him, etc. Because it was this never-ending flow of love, nurturing, etc. He wants to surprise her now with his passion, his intensity, his desire, and he's trying to find a way to do it. How do I do this? That alarm is so, how does it not wake him up? I don't understand. Okay, the Knight of Cups is clarified by the Seven of Wands. So this masculine wants to give this offer to the divine feminine, but divine feminine is in this protective bubble, and she has her guard up. It's a healthy boundary. So the masculine isn't begrudging her this boundary. He understands where it came from, because while he might want to surprise her with his passion and intensity, before this card was about surprising other people with his passion and intensity. And so divine feminine, being on her guard about that energy, has this healthy boundary up, and she seems to be in this protective bubble. This can be for those of us that maybe don't interact on our social media with this person. Either we have them blocked, or we just aren't like open or welcoming or messaging them or something. It doesn't seem like it would be easy to just send us a message. In this day and age, we have so many options for getting a message to a person that I just can't even with that. Like, I can't even. We used to have to rely on fucking carrier pigeons. What are you doing? Right? What are you doing? Okay, so he wants to be able to express to her, but he does feel like she has her guard up. So he's a bit concerned about how she's going to receive him. Because, as this Justice card indicated before, the burden in this relationship fell completely on the feminine energy. Oops, sorry. Realizing it now, feeling like an idiot. I wish I would have handled that differently. Definitely coming from the masculine. I effed up big time, because this is so unfair. The divine feminine should not have had to walk alone, carrying not only the burden of our relationship, but the burden of her own existence, which I don't know if you've noticed, but in this day and age is really hard to do solo. His emotion is coming up. This is not mine. This is his. He feels so bad about this because his role as a masculine energy in his mind is to take care of the feminine. And he feels so bad that he hasn't done anything for her. Wow. I don't usually cry during the masculine readings, so he's definitely in tune with his feelings. He wants to express this to her. He's afraid of the tears that are going to come up. He's got that feeling that I became much more aware of during Black Lives Matter resurgence, where when you cry over something you did to somebody, you are then asking them to sort of take care of you. You know, like white guilt. If you're crying because you feel bad, then you're requiring people of color to be like, it's okay, like, which is so messed up, right? So, because that absolutely should not be happening. The people that have suffered under oppression should not have to go to their oppressors. Even if you don't consider yourself an oppressor, just, just embrace the fact that you are embedded in a culture of supremacy, and it's just how it is. It is not their job to make you feel better. Like, they don't have to then be like, it's okay for oppressing me, right? The masculine is aware of this. He doesn't want to just cry to the feminine and be like, I'm so sorry, and have her be like, baby, it's okay, because he knows that it's not. It's not. And so he's got to get over this feeling of, I can't express this emotion because she's going to, then she's going to have to take care of me. So he's trying to find a way, and that's this Seven of Swords energy, to express this to her without having this emotion where then what would she have to do but take care of him again. He doesn't want her to feel like she has to take care of him, like that's her only rule or her only job, Clarifying the Fool, we have the Four of Pentacles. This is what he was foolish about. He was cautious and wouldn't take the leap because he really cared a lot about what other people thought. And in the reading that got deleted, this was what he was hiding from the feminine in reverse with the different deck. And it was actually the Wild Unknown this deck that I'm using. And the Four of Pentacles in this deck actually forms a cross. Like, it looks like a cross. And it was in reverse, and what he was hiding was that he didn't give a fuck about what anybody thought anymore. He did not care what he thought about anymore. I'm waiting. He's African American. Oh, wow, interesting. So I think that he, just like that positioning that happened in that reading that got deleted, he no longer cares about other people's opinions or ideas. He's not clinging to them. If there was a feminine who holds his purse, like the one that he maybe has to financially support or something like that from a past marriage, he doesn't care what this person thinks anymore, or what anybody around them thinks. He's really letting go of that. He's clinging to the connection with the feminine and releasing anything that isn't that. Hang on, my puppers is interrupting me. What do you need? Are you just saying hi? Would you like your yogurt stick? You want your yogurt stick? Here, let me get it to you. Want this? You do? Take it. Oh, you're such a dainty eater. know how they make this look appealing to me. Like, I want one of these peanut butter yogurt sticks. I like smelled them. I was like, are they good? And then I was like, oh no, it's not good. They look good. They look like they're gonna be like chewy, peanut buttery goodness. Anyway, so the last card, clarifying this Queen of Wands is a real. I was like, yay! And then I get this card and I'm like, okay. 5 of Wands. Blocked. Now, this could be for feminines who have actively blocked the masculine, right? Remember, he's trying to figure out how to express his feelings to her. She's in some kind of a protective bubble. So for those of you that have your person blocked, you might want to unblock them. I mean, I don't know. Blocking for me is complicated. I didn't block my person. I just deleted my Instagram app so I can't look at my person without like going extra steps. Like I have to like go to a browser, type in, like get like a private Insta stories account, type it in, watch it from a private account. Like I made it difficult for me to engage with him. Like he can do whatever he wants. I didn't have to, like he could send me a message and I would get it. Like I would see eventually when because I see in my browser, like if I have messages or not when I open my computer, but I don't look at Instagram very often. But like he feels like he's blocked, like he doesn't have a way to express to the feminine. Now, if you haven't actively blocked this person, maybe they think you still have, maybe they haven't checked, you know, because they're like afraid to see if they're blocked or not. So that could be, they might not know they're unblocked if you've unblocked them. They might still just feel that there is some karmic mess they have to clean up, but I don't think so. I think they just feel like they're struggling to express their feelings because of the boundaries the divine feminine has put in place. And this is not any boundaries that he doesn't feel are healthy. It's like, I can't approach her on Instagram. She put up that boundary. Like if I go right now and DM her on Instagram, I'm an idiot, even more than I was before. So I can't do that. So I can't use that way. I'm blocked in the old way that I used to communicate. So I have to call her, or I have to go where she is, or there's some kind of a struggle to get through the protection the divine feminine has put in place. And the masculine is really working on it right now. He's struggling with it, but he's going to do something about it because he's sick of how he feels. So, all right. His ass just took 42 minutes to read. I can't with that. Okay. Let's get over here to the divine feminine and get going, because Lord up in heaven is going to be a long reading. If you're coming in this reading and you're only here in the middle of it, you're like, oh my God, I wish I would have seen the whole thing. Your luck, because it is also streaming at the same time to YouTube. So if you're over here and you want to see the beginning of the masculine, you can hop over to Tuned In Tarot YouTube, click the profile. There is, oh, I'm able to wear my lion ring again. I was breaking out from it before, so I'm happy that she's back because I love my ring. But click the little Instagram picture, and there's a YouTube picture there. Hop over to the YouTube and you can scroll all the way back to the beginning if you want to see the full reading, or if you just want to stick with me now and go back later, it's going to be there for you. Or if you have to go, it'll be there on Tuned In Tarot YouTube. It's 11:11 right now. We're starting the divine feminine reading. All right. Remember, for anybody who just arrived here, do not disregard the feminine. Do you know how frustrating it is to me that I put out the masculine and feminine message every single day, and the feminine gets a third as many views as the masculine? And it is because y'all don't realize your person has emotions and creativity. I'm confused about it because the feminine energy isn't a woman. It's not a woman or a person who identifies as such. It is emotion and creativity of your person and yourself. So don't disregard feminine energy. Don't swatch only the masculine. Only the masculine. What is that? That's the patriarchy. Please, please, I strongly encourage you to reflect upon your choices in this matter, right? If you're not watching the feminine messages, you're not getting the whole picture, which means your ass is not coming into union because you don't value the feminine. If you don't value the feminine, You're not going to get your person. Nope, not going to happen, because that means your person isn't going to value you either. And they're not going to value their feelings. They're not going to value their emotions or their creativity. They're just going to value action, material, and intellect. That's it. So if you want to stay in separation forever, one good way to do that is to disregard your feminine side of self, or think, I don't need to learn about that because I am a feminine energy. First of all, that's not all you are. You are not, for the readers who call people divine feminines, I've tuned out from their readings because I don't think they understand. When people say divine feminines on TikTok, they are talking about women or people who identify as women. You can see it plain as day all the time, because they'll be like, oh, the masculines, they do X, Y, and Z. And you're like, you are a masculine. Do you not know you are a masculine too? Go change your outfit, put on some masculine looking clothes, stand in front of the mirror, and be your masculine self for a minute. Think about how you take action. Think about how you think about things. How analytical are you? How much do you overthink? If you're overthinking, you're not in feminine energy. You're in masculine energy. If you're overfeeling, you're in feminine energy. So if you're emotionally, all up in whatever, that's feminine energy. But if your head is like this, that's that, you're masculine energy. I'm going to have to teach this over and over and over and over and over again, because I watch enough TikTok readings to know that very few people really, truly understand this concept. And if you've been wondering why so few people are coming into union, the fact that my feminine message videos get 1/3 as many views as the masculine is the answer. I swear to you. As this balances out in our society, people will come into union. But if you aren't valuing your emotions or your creativity, or believing that it is as important as the masculine energy in your life, you're not coming into union with that person. That is the requirement for the twin flame journey. There's no way you can value the masculine more and end up with the person that you're trying to be with, because that would defeat the purpose of the journey. That would be a karmic that you would be with. So, hate to tell you, value yourself. Value your feminine side, understand your masculine side, stop focusing so much on the person. The person is truly irrelevant. They are irrelevant. I know it doesn't seem like it. Believe me, even to myself, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like, even when I tell people it's not about the physical union, my ego is always in the back of my mind, this little squeaky, like little mouse voice that's like, you might still come into union with your person. You might still come into union with your person, but it would still not be the reason that you were on this journey. It will never be the reason that you are on the journey. The reason that you are on the journey is always for yourself, not for anybody else. And you are already complete. And if you don't feel complete, you won't when you come into a union with the person, and you'll go into separation again. That's what twin flame union is about. It's about separation more than union. I hate to tell you, it really is. I can tell because the readers that I've been watching for 3 years, none of them are in union still. None of them. So what is it about then? 3 years of separation and all the lessons you learned during that time. It's not about the union. It's not. Top of the deck, overall headspace for divine feminine energy, the 3 of Pentacles. This is what was underlying divine masculine's heart space, right? Isn't it interesting that the heart space of the masculine energy is the part that reflects most the headspace of the feminine energy, right? Because it's the mirrored energy. Underlying all of his feelings is this interference. Overarching all of divine feminine's thoughts is the interference. That's amazing. Anyway, just saying. So divine feminine looks pretty fed up, okay? There's no one working with her here in this image. This is supposed to be an image about collaborating. This is from the Dreaming Way Tarot, which I found through the Dreaming Way Normand. I really liked the artwork of that, and so then I ended up getting this deck too. Bowie, no. Lay down. We've got a long way to go. Lay down. No. Lay down, please. Thank you. Oh, she's going to start jumping up on me for the next hour. It's fine. Okay. So Divine Feminine, this is an unusual image for the Three of Pentacles. First of all, you have a paper bag on your head. What's going on with that? There's coins falling out. I don't know. This is just the most bizarre image. And the arms crossed across the chest, this closed energy coming from her. I don't want to work with anyone. I just want to do this myself. But sick of it, because look at her face. She's totally fed up with it. She's really sick of doing everything herself. And I'm feeling not even getting really anything from it. Like feeling like I'm working so hard all by myself. All I want to do is be in partnership. I'm working to be in partnership. And all I'm getting is like a pittance from this work. It feels like the sanctuary I'm supposed to be building with someone, can't get there. Not safe. Don't feel like I'm doing well in this collaboration, teamwork, and partnership area. It's just me all day, and I don't even want it to be. Like I'm fed up with working alone and feeling like there's something between me and being in partnership. I'm tired of it. Somebody just asked me if I'm single. Yes, I am. Okay, so underlying all of her thoughts and feelings, we have here this Three of Wands energy. So she is looking to the future of what is coming in. The rainbow is interesting because I saw this TikTok this morning of this woman that like went to take a video of herself and then realized there was a rainbow in her backyard, and she's like, I found the rainbow, and starts running towards it. And it was so disappointing because she didn't actually keep going to the end of the rainbow, which she literally could have done because it was just over in the bushes. And I was like, take us to the bush. I want to see if there's a fucking pot of gold. What do you mean? She didn't. I was like, this is the most disappointing TikTok rainbow video ever, but it's just it's there again. And I think it's interesting because a rainbow is a promise, right? A rainbow is the promise from the divine that the suffering that you have endured, this particular suffering that you have endured, you will never suffer from that again. It's because in the story of Noah, what God promises is that he will never flood the earth again like that. He's like, I'm not making any promises about any other devastating events, but I won't flood the earth again, okay? That sucked. That wasn't that great. Took a long time for all the water to go down. I don't know. I'm not going to do that again anymore, Noah, okay? But you better be good because I got a lot of other things. We could do fireballs from heaven. We could do volcanoes exploding, covering up the sky. We could do an ice age. So, but no floods, okay? No floods. So this is actually really good for the feminine because I think in the back of her mind, she realizes that her future promises that she will not ever have to deal with the masculine energy the way that she dealt with it in the past. I saw another video today that was commenting about that one TikTok video that's going around, people are stitching, where this girl is like, girls, if he asks you how your day is, you're in, right? And then everyone is commenting on this freaking ridiculous thing of being like, feeling like if a masculine asks you how you are, that indicates that he loves you, wants to be with you. And that's the bare minimum. Like, I'm sorry. That is the bare minimum. And this girl was saying this really, this woman actually was saying this really relevant stuff about how that like being asked how you are is a basic necessity of life and like not at all an indication of somebody really wanting to be with you. And the less somebody gives you, like, if you get a lot of nothing, then when they do even a little thing, it seems like something, right? That is over for the feminine. I know it's over because I recently had an experience where I started talking to this person and it was pretty great. They were funny. We were kind of connecting. I was like, oh, this is nice. And like, they wanted to talk on the phone at first, like, you know, and then when we actually went to try to meet up, didn't happen because they didn't value my time. They didn't value that I was like going out of my way, like far out of my way to go and meet them in person, whatever. And then afterwards I was like, hey, you know, I think we're good, because I need somebody who values my time and puts the same amount of energy. And then they came back at me and were like, please let me make this up to you. Like, I still, I totally fumbled this. And I was like, okay, like, that's, if you realize that I need more and you can, and then they didn't show up at all. And that type of a situation where he's just saying, like, how was your day at the end of the day? Which is what my person used to do. My person used to wait all day. I would post a poem or something to them. I would do something really lovely for them. And then they would wait the entire day. They would do everything they had to do. They would probably fuck other people. I don't know what they would do. And then at the end of the night, right before they would go to bed, when they couldn't sleep because they were thinking about me, they would post something that vaguely referred to me or what I had posted. And I was like, that's never happening again. If you don't get in your car and drive to see me 3 hours away, if I'm 3 hours, I'm 5 hours away, if you aren't so motivated by the incredible person that I am, that you do not go out of your way to make time for me the way that I do for you, right? Remember the balance? If you don't do that, that's okay. I'm not judging you. I don't think you're a bad person. I don't think that you should be punished. But what I do think is that you can't get an invitation to my table. You can sit outside where all the other general people are sitting. And now that I've been doing these readings for a while, there's 17,000 of them. So you can go right on the other side of that rope. You can pull up a chair. You can watch my TikTok. You can watch my YouTube. You can even stroke your dick if you want to while you're doing it. But you can never come to my table if you give me anything else other than your complete and total interest and devotion, because that's what I give you. And that's what I deserve. And that's what I attract. So if you're finding it's really difficult to get with me right now, it's probably because you're not on my level at all. And the universe is promising me this. My future doesn't have anyone in it who doesn't drive 3 hours with a bunch of roses to meet me for the first time, because I'm such an incredible person. Period. I know I'm incredible. Anybody who would be with me would be completely lucky to have me. So if you don't show me that, you're not getting in. And the divine feminine kind of feels faith, and she feels patient, because she's like, it's pretty easy to tell who makes the cut or not. Like, it's not even hard anymore. It takes me like 2 messages usually. I'm like, oh, not this one. So love that. She is maintaining this Queen of Swords energy. This is the first thing on her mind. Healthy boundaries, not distorted, not overly aggressive, not defensive, not critical, not harsh, discerning, understanding, in command of my feelings. You can be a fan or a hater, but not a partner. Love that. Everybody's like, period. Like, yeah, I love that. And that's really where you need to be. Nicole's like, girl, preach over here. This is a powerful divine feminine independent energy. This is why divine masculine is over here quaking in his boots. He doesn't have to, because this doesn't require a whole lot. What does this require? A conversation. The swords are about a conversation. They're about thoughts, right? They're about your nervous system, ideas that you're, well, I usually feel like wands are ideas, but swords are thoughts more. But communication of your thoughts. That's all it requires. Even if you think, like that person who I confronted, to their credit, I was really nice about it. I was like, hey, look, it's just clear we're not on the same page, man. Like, you said, well, you wanted to get to know each other and be friends. It's been a month and I don't know who you are. And that could be because of all your Scorpio placements. That's fine. I don't want somebody with a lot of Scorpio placements who doesn't say who they are then. I need somebody who is revealing who they are to me. That's really important to me. So it's not even like we could really be friends right now, because we really can't. Because I have even more communication with my friends than I do with you. So my friends ask me more than how was your day? They know what I was doing that day. My friends, if they ask me, if my friend texted me at the end of a Tuesday, they'd be like, how was your day off? Was it a great day? If they texted me on a Friday, they would be like, what are you going to do this weekend? Are you working? Because they know I work on the weekend, right? You don't know that. You have no idea who I am. So that's cool. Keep it pushing. You want to come before Khaleesi? You better have a good fucking reason, and you better know what the fuck you're gonna say. Current energy for the divine feminine. This is why I was like, all that long time ago, because we're at an hour now and I haven't even started the heart space. Oh my God, this is going to be a brutal reading. It's fine though. It's good. We're all happy. We're all here together. It's Labor Day. We don't have anywhere to go. There's a replay available that you can come back to later on Tuned In Tarot YouTube. You're good. Justice, justice, justice. 3 decks with the Justice card coming out. Do you think the scales are balancing? I think they are. And what are they balancing in regards to? Well, we already saw the divine masculine crying over the injustice the feminine has experienced. And I was really appreciating that because I feel like crying too. So that makes a lot of sense to me that the divine masculine would cry over my suffering because I have been suffering, and it would have really been great. It would have been really, 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 really great to have my partner with me during that time. It's not that I couldn't have solved the issues on my own or that he would have had to sweep in and save me, but it just would have been really great to be able to call him and be like, this is so hard. This is so hard. And have him say, I know, I love you. You can do it. Instead of nothing. The divine feminine has finally understood spiritual justice. All right. We've got the Hierophant energy here. This is marriage, vows, commitments, higher level learning, tradition, authority, and the balance, the Justice card, which we've been seeing. So this is literally, in some cases, there has been like a legal decision marriage-wise. Since this is a collective reading, there are probably some people who have recently experienced a divorce, or they could be going through a divorce right now or something like that, because this is like an end to a marriage or the beginning of one, depending. Legal contracts, though. And something that is kind of holding you. So my current energy, I'm still dealing with custody issues with my ex. So this could be that kind of stuff too. Like there is an authority figure or somebody that you kind of have to deal with. It's also just the idea of marriage and faith and commitment, wanting somebody who comes in with the same balance, the same desire, wanting that with you. Divine feminine, Queen of Pentacles over here for the masculine energy. They're very much in union. Oh, there's my brother's other alarm. He has like 20 alarms that go off. It's so funny. And then I'll go in his room and I'll be like, hey, I'm going to turn this alarm off. Do you want me to keep talking to you so that you wake up? Or he'll be like, no. And he's 23. So I'm like, okay. But our room is like, I have to walk through his room. It's been a fun summer. We've actually been pretty good roommates. I was like, we could live together because we have these adjoining rooms, and like, it's been totally fine. So the Queen of Pentacles, this is based on these 2 cards coming out like this. The person that the masculine energy is thinking about is this divine feminine energy. It's not like another person. In other words, this is just kind of help us. Like he's not thinking about like baby mama or his mama or whatever. He's thinking about this divine feminine who may be a mama herself, but she's very nurturing, independent, creative, etc. And divine feminine, you are feeling like, look at this energy from you. You have a clear path, clear strategy to do justice to yourself through your commitment, right? You are committed to balancing out the scales for yourself. Take care of legal issues, take care of anything that might be holding you back. You're fully committed to doing whatever you need to do to get to this point. Wife, mother, independent, abundant, creative. This is a really positive energy for you. Oh my God. There's so many repeat cards today. Clarifying the Queen of Swords is the Fool card again. This is the 3rd time I've seen the Fool today because I pulled the Fool for the reading that got deleted. And let me see. The other night you gave me 2 rings, one of which was a moldavite ring. I started to talk about. Oh, I think I saw that about the moldavite ring thing. So we have here the Fool card coming out for both. This is that new beginning. The divine feminine, here we're seeing this 9 of Pentacles come out with her Fool card. So What I am seeing is divine feminine in her single and independent energy. It's funny because at the very beginning of this reading, someone asked me if I was single, and I am. But this is also in the past placement. So she has been single, but in her single and independent energy, which was a new thing for her to really be in. She hadn't really been in that yet, in like really fully embodied it, but she did it. Like she found a way to embody this energy for herself, to reward herself in some way. She might have been dating or just open to the idea of it, but really feeling that she has that ability to attract others, and that she can enjoy the rewards, the fruits of all that labor that she's frustrated that she's been having to do for so long. But in this energy, she was like, I'm not dealing with any tomfoolery, right? There's no there, there's no I'm not gonna be with anybody that's like foolish. And she didn't do that. She wasn't. It's like she didn't squander. She didn't squander her energy when she was in this. She still had healthy boundaries. She was still discerning. She didn't let anybody come in that acted a fool with her. And that means the masculine can't come in because he's been acting a fool. So he's not been able to come in. That's what this protective bubble is about. If she's not going to let anybody act childish or whatever, then they're not going to be able to come in. And for divine feminine, she had decided in the past that her new beginning was just going to be that she was going to be single and she was going to experience that for a while. Now in this current energy where we see Justice and the Hierophant, we see her returning with the Six of Cups energy, wanting to reunite with somebody that she wants to have a committed legal married relationship with. So somebody from her past. This could also be in that situation where if you're a feminine that's going through a divorce, or a person that's going through a divorce, your feminine energy is like that is finally just, or it's finally over, or something, that past relationship is over. But I really think that for most of us, what this is that in the past, she was, exploring cautiously, I think, exploring her single energy, but she's really decided she doesn't want that. She just wants to be in a legal committed relationship with her past person. Clarifying this Queen of Pentacles, very interesting. It's the Five of Pentacles. Disappointed. I wanted this to be a different card. This is divine feminine in her Queen of Pentacles energy, still feeling poor, still feeling lack, still feeling like she's out in the cold. It doesn't matter that she's creative and abundant and prosperous. If you're all by yourself, you're just all by yourself, right? And there's that overall energy that came from this Three of Pentacles. It's like, you can work on this, but what are you working on it for? And another feeling of I work and I work and I work, and yet still I have nothing. That's something really resonates with me. I've been the last couple of weeks, I really took a financial hit. Like, I just haven't gotten personal readings during lives. People haven't been booking me. I used to get at least 2 tell me everything spreads a week, nada, for like a couple of weeks. And I know it's like everybody's feeling a squeeze and there's all these kinds of different reasons for it. But I mean, just because I don't get personal readings or people booking my readings does not mean that I am going to be, that I'm not working. Because I still work the same number of hours, whether I get paid or not. That's the issue when you're self-employed, right? So it's like I'm working and I'm working and I'm working. I'm working on myself. I'm working on my mind. I'm working on my heart. I'm doing affirmations. I'm journaling. I'm eating better foods. I'm walking. I'm getting outside. I'm getting light. I'm getting sun. I'm building things. I'm advertising. I'm marketing. I'm saying, hey, do you need a reading? Do you need a reading? I'm doing all the things, and I'm doing it all by myself. And after having done all of that, I still can't pay my car payment today. Yet. This is why the masculine cried. Because the separation that the divine feminine has been experiencing, the poverty and the lack that the divine feminine has been experiencing, he has felt were so unfair. He sees how hard she works. He knows that she is so burdened. It literally, just even talking about it again, I can feel his emotion. Like, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Because something was interfering with his ability to work with her, collaborate with her, and help her achieve her abundance. We're supposed to be helpmates, right? Helpmates. And you need it, it turns out, especially now. Like in Los Angeles is the city of people living together for 6 months at a time so that you can afford your apartment. You need help, right? It's not simple to do these things on your own. And Divine Feminine, not only has she been doing it on her own, but many of us have a child or more than one child. And the masculine, I don't think he's having to take care of his children very much. I think someone else takes care of his children a lot, and he sees them when he can. He has good relationships with them, but I don't think he's the primary caregiver, because he's a person who is focused more on the material. And so the Divine Feminine has been bereft. She's been in a state of lack. She's been out in the cold, and she's been carrying all of that burden herself and taking care of other human beings. That masculine energy is really, really emotional right now. He's literally thinking about his own mother. I feel him thinking about how his own mother wasn't like this feminine, or could have been maybe, but I don't think so. I think in a lot of cases, this feminine energy in his life did not manage to do this, even if she had the resources for it. Whereas Divine Feminine, who has nothing, still loving and nurturing. And that's what makes her the Empress for him. That she gives everything, even if she has nothing. And he gave nothing when he had everything. And it's just so emotional for him to realize this. And he's got to get over that, because he can't speak to her if he's carrying all this emotional pain. He's got to actually feel that pain and forgive himself so that he can speak to her, because otherwise he's not going to be able to get the words out. It's too hard for him to admit the suffering he watched from the sidelines. Not that he wasn't suffering himself inside, because this is the feminine energy within him that was bereft, that was doing all of this nurturing and not receiving anything, right? The overall headspace, or heart space, we are only at the heart space of the feminine. I still have all the oracles. Like, I gotta go faster. Okay. Is the Ace of Pentacles. If you want to see this full reading from the beginning, you can go over to Tuned In Tarot YouTube. If you are worried that you're not going to be able to see the rest, it's going to be there for you for a replay. So just so you know, if you're coming in here. So overall, on her heart space, we have here the Ace of Pentacles. And this is that feeling of abundance and prosperity, which is a lovely counter to the headspace of this overall lack that's coming out. Now, this is what Divine Feminine has been working for. And this is why she feels very frustrated, because she thinks that at this point, all of the work that she's put in, she should see an offer come in of something. And this isn't even just necessarily from the Divine Masculine. This is like for her to the Supreme, where she's like, excuse me, ma'am, but I think I was supposed to get something after I paid you. Like, I can wait, but I really want to get moving. So can we have it, please? Like, because I've been doing everything you asked me to do, universe. So what more should I do to receive this abundance? I'm kind of over it. I just work alone forever and never experience partnership, never actually experience abundance, and then I die? Is that what we're doing here? And then the people that are like evil to the core, they like get to like own everything and play with everything and have unlimited freedom on the earth, and I'll just kick it and go back to heaven? Like, what Divine Feminine is like, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to have some kind of an offer, and I'm pretty sure that at this point I should have seen it. Hang on a tick. I just want to check, because I think this is Temperance, but I want to make sure because this deck is... Yes, it is. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so underlying all her thoughts and decisions, we have Temperance, or it's called Balance in this deck. This is the Lover's Path Tarot, which I love, and it has Venus and Vulcan on it. And I'm going to read you their story. So the story is Venus was first worshipped as a nature goddess associated with the arrival of spring and only later gaining notoriety for sensual exploits. To balance her natural exuberance, the gods wed her to Vulcan, the lame god of the forge. Venus did not appreciate her husband's skillful craftsmanship, and she did not hesitate to share her affections with others. Despite this, Venus and Vulcan's marriage endured. Each was necessary to the other, as opposites often are. Integration and moderation, balance between opposites, union of the conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche, and reversed, we have imbalance, discomfort, inability to find peace within or with others, and a lack of inspiration. Now, this is coming out with the Three of Wands. So this is one of the reasons why I feel Divine Feminine is feeling faith, like, or is thinking that she's been promised that she's not going to see any of the past problems, because she's feeling like she did heal a lot of those things with that Temperance energy, which is about healing. It is about the cups pouring from back and forth with nothing lost. It's about satisfaction too. So what Divine Feminine sees in her future is satisfaction. Now, the story of Venus and Vulcan is interesting because the marriage between Venus and Vulcan endured, even though there was third-party energy. And I think that's the message here, that the emotions are balanced out regarding third-party energy for the feminine. She's either forgiven this energy from the masculine and just like had an understanding of the purpose it served for their journey, or something in regards to that. But there is forgiveness coming from that energy, and also a lot of patience. Okay. Clarifying the Queen of Swords, we have Dante and Beatrice. This is the Star card. And Dante and Beatrice have an interesting story too. Dante fell in love with Beatrice, but he deified her. It's 1144. He thought she was literally an angel, so he never spoke to her because he was so overcome, and he just never felt good enough for her. And then he had this dream where he was shown that what he was supposed to do is not actually have a physical relationship with her, but just like immortalize her in his poetry. I am not Beatrice, but if I were, and I also loved Dante, but I married someone else because he would never tell me he loved me, and then he wrote me this beautiful poem that was read for centuries, I wouldn't care about the poem, because the poem goes on for centuries. Great. But my experience of my life is now. So what Divine Feminine is understanding is that while the masculine may be putting her on a pedestal, deifying her, creating these, maybe he's doing crave expression. Mine writes music. So there's 3 full records right now that my person has released and won Grammys for. And they all are about this journey, immortalizing this journey that we're on. Great. Cool. It's not reality though. It's ineffable. It is something that lasts forever. At least he didn't love bomb her. I'm dead. But isn't writing a huge poetry, like a huge poem, kind of love bombing though? At least he didn't love bomb her. Good old Dante. Smelly old Dante. One of my favorite high school, like I went to a school in a very small town with people that are not like avid literati. Okay. They're not going to be reading a ton of literature and commenting on it, like, you know, with their like Prince Nez while they're smoking a pipe. Like, this is not that town. Okay. This is a Trump town. They all voted for Trump up here in the deep south of the north. And I was taking AP English, and we were reading Dante's Inferno. This one kid we were at the last part where he's finally he's arrived in hell, and there's, you know, big old Lucifer, and he's got this person that he's chewing on. Like, he's got, literally has a person in his mouth and he's like chewing on him. And that person is like the worst traitor ever. And so the teacher is like, you know, he has in his mouth, in his jaws, he has the most treacherous person, the person responsible for betraying the most betrayal, whatever. And he's like, who can tell me who it is? Like, the teacher's asking the class. And this kid, who was like a jock, you know, like just a straight jock, he raised his hand. This is not somebody who just like blurted it out or got called on. This bitch raises his hand. Teacher, I know the answer. Thank you so much for the target. I know the answer, teacher. Who is the worst traitor in history? And this guy says, Benedict Arnold. This kid thought that the American dude who betrayed the Americans during the Revolutionary War was in the jaws of a 15th century Lucifer. And the entire class was like, ah! Like, why would it be Benedict Arnold? It's Judas, you idiot. Like, it's literally, who's the biggest betrayer in Christianity? It's Judas, not Benedict Arnold. Oh my God. For the rest of my life, I will love that moment. I saw him at my class reunion, like my 20-year reunion years ago, or 10-year reunion years ago. And I was just like, hey, to this day, I still call you in my mind Benedict Arnold. Like, you have never been called your real name again. You will always be Benedict Arnold to me. So that's who you are. Greatest moment of my high school history. And that's how pathetic my high school history was. Okay, clarifying the Justice card and the Hierophant. Ace of Cups. Why do you get long-term commitment? Why do you get arrive at this point where there's justice and fairness? Because you love yourself, because you've developed self-love, because you're connected to the divine. That is why. So it probably would have been me and my ADHD not paying attention. No, I'm pretty sure this kid literally had no idea that Judas was a bigger traitor than Benedict Arnold. In his mind, if you're a traitor against America, you're a traitor against the world for all of history, you know, like that kind of thinking. Oh my God, I can't. So you have really balanced the scales yourself, because on this spiritual journey you've been on, you've discovered the meaning. Oh, I'm supposed to love myself and find that the love that I'm always craving and seeking is actually within me. And it's coming from this consciousness that animates me, whatever that spirit is that, you know, keeps my heart beating. That is where this love is always pouring from. And so I'm committed to myself. I'm committed to continuing to love myself. That's where the feminine is. Queen of Pentacles. I told you how hard she was working. And I told you how frustrating it is. Because she even feels like the Queen of Pentacles. She's like, I have all these pieces in place. I should never have, like, based on the number of followers I have, the amount of lives I do, the accuracy. If you go look at my comments, this is my moment to shine as a Leo here. I'm going to fully embody my Mother of Wands energy. Go look at the comments under my videos, and all you're going to see is, this is so accurate. I can't believe it. Oh my God, spot on. How do you do this? It's like you're reading for me. I can't believe this. You're my favorite reader. No one else is like this. Blah, 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 right? First of all, thank you. I appreciate those compliments. As a Leo, I thrive off of them, but they also make me feel like what I'm doing is meaningful and valuable for you, because I've had that experience with readers, and I'm connected with readers that I feel are very accurate. With all of that accuracy, with all of my content, with all of my reach, with all of the work that I do, because you must admit, I do a lot of free work for everybody. People ask me for free readings all the time, and I'm like, really? Really? Would you like me to do these readings from a homeless shelter? Because that's what's going to happen soon if I don't get paid for them, right? Okay. So Divine Feminine is like, what in the hell? I've worked and 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 I've worked. What's going on? Well, maybe you're working because you think you're in control instead of working because you love the work. Maybe you think by working, you're controlling what's happening, but really you're just supposed to work because it's fulfilling and it feels good. And then the abundance that comes from it is really just supposed to be like a bonus. And that might be hard for the feminine to fully embrace right now. Clarifying the Fool and the Nine of Pentacles. This could also, by the way, I'm just getting that this might also be that Divine Feminine felt foolish about being overly attached to someone specific. That's coming up. We're getting the Two of Arrows, which is basically the Two of Swords. We're seeing Cupid and Psyche, I think. Maybe. Yeah, Cupid and Psyche in this image. And the story of Cupid and Psyche is a really powerful story for our collective energy because it is about how Cupid's mom, Venus, was like, oh my God, this bitch Psyche is like way too beautiful and I can't handle it. So I want you to do me a favor, Cupid. Shoot an arrow at that bitch so she falls in love with the first person because I need her to get out of the, like, she cannot be in circulation. Even though I've got to go deal with Vulcan later, I mean, I don't want her getting in between me and any of my other little side relationships I've got, okay? So Venus is like, yeah, go take care of it. And Cupid is like, but I love her. So he rescues rather, Psyche, captures her affection, but rescues her and takes her to this tower. They have this fantastic night together. And then he tells her when he goes to rescue her, he's like, don't look at me. You can't see who I am. I can't remember why, but he says, you can't look at me. You cannot see me. So they go have their night together. It's amazing. And then she's laying next to him and is like, is it really Cupid? I'm like, bitch, you don't know who you're with? That's kind of hot. Okay. She's like, is it really Cupid? I'm not sure. But Cupid said, no matter what, you can't look at me. You just can't look at me right now. And she's like, okay, I won't. And then he's sleeping. And she's like, listen, he's asleep. He's not going to know if I just like peek at him. So she lights her oil lamp and she moves the oil lamp close enough to his face so she can check out, see if it's really Cupid. And she accidentally burns him. He wakes up. He's pissed. He's like, number one, you burned me. I was sleeping soundly. Not cute. Number two, I told you not to look at me, which means you don't trust me. So I'm leaving. And he flies off, tells his mommy. And then I think it's Persephone gives Psyche a real hard time as she tries to journey back to Cupid to prove her love to him. Eventually, it all works out. Everything's hunky-dory. 11:55 on the clock. But the really important part of the tale is that Divine Feminine did not believe that when the masculine was single, that he wasn't going to be a fool. And so she kept checking on him, right? She kept checking to see, is this masculine being a fool? And if you think that someone is being a fool, guess what you're going to see? Whether they truly are or not remains to be seen because all you're doing is perceiving your projected reality. So Divine Feminine basically would peek at the masculine, get pissed because she would be like, he doesn't want to be with me. He's leaving me. She would run because she would be scared that he was going to leave her for someone else or that he really didn't want to be with her, whatever it was. And the masculine would get burnt by the oil because he would think, you don't believe in me? You don't trust me? You think I would do that to you? That's fucked up. I would never do that. Like, why would you think that about me? You must not know me. You must not know who I am. And he would feel hurt and wounded, and he would fly away to his mommy, in some cases, and leave the Divine Feminine on her own to like make her way back to him through her overcoming trust issues. And that's really what was going on for the feminine and masculine energy. Clarifying the Six of Cups. My God, we're almost done with the tarot here. Clarifying the Six of Cups is none other than the Five of Swords. It's another Cupid and Psyche story as well. So we're really getting this hammered in right now that this story of the Divine Feminine not trusting the masculine is what the problem has been all along. And that means that your person also has trust issues, meaning he can't trust himself, which is also not being able to trust the feminine, right? because you're not tuned into yourself. You don't trust yourself. Your high priestess is in reverse. So this has been the biggest struggle. And also, I think divine feminine is surrendering that two of swords, that impasse energy, that being stuck or blocking the masculine. In some cases, like we talked about over here, we're being blocked. She is surrendering. She's no longer going to fight against this desire to be with this person from the past. Like my gesture of telling that other person I was trying to, because I've tried to be open, not stuck on the specific person that I have always believed I would be with, because I didn't want to limit myself. So I started to, and because that person doesn't talk to me, so there's really no reason for me to stick around. Like, I don't want to be with someone who never talks to me. I don't know why that's weird. Like, is that weird? It's not weird. So I was just like, okay, well, I want to be in partnership. And if you can't talk to me, that's fine, but I'm going to go somewhere else. But when I closed out that recent experience and didn't let it linger, I realized how powerful I really am now. Because in the past, even though that person was dissatisfying and was only like, hey, how are you tonight? Oh, yeah, we should talk soon. I think I would have just left that, because I would have just been like, well, it's harmless. It's somebody who's talking to me. Like, nothing else is going on. If my person comes in, I'm just going to be like, hey, I've got something else going on. But like, maybe when I move to Massachusetts and I'm closer to where this person lives, we'll go out or something. I think I would have just left that, just because of it would have been like a source of security that at least there's someone else. At least there's not just this twin who never talks to me. But I didn't feel that I needed anybody to fill in a void. So if there's no void, then when you're going, hey, how are you today? And then you don't message me again for 12 hours. I don't need you, because during that 12 hours of time, I was busy, and I wasn't sitting there thinking nothing else was going to come along. I was like, well, if I manifested this person who's like almost there, but not quite, because they're clearly not ready, then I'm sure the next person will be more ready. Right. So the divine feminine is really overcoming the fear of the void. Hey, do you want to know what's great about this next card? This was the card that we're clarifying, the Five of Pentacles. Separation, poverty, lack mentality, blah, blah. And it's the halfway point also. Nothing worse than the halfway point. You're halfway there, but you still have the same exact distance you just walked to go, right? Ugh, that's overwhelming. Yeah. Well, let's clarify it. Okay, here's the Ten of Pentacles. Ha ha! Maybe your head has you convinced that you aren't wealthy, but you literally have the alpha and the omega of the pentacles in your reading. But you're wealthy. You just have to tune into the feeling of that wealth. And I think you must be, because you wouldn't think of yourself this way if you didn't know intellectually somehow that this lack is totally an illusion, just like the separation is itself. Oh my God. It is 1 hour and 33 minutes in, and we are just starting the oracles. I'm going to try to burn through these as fast as I can. I usually like to be almost done with the oracles by this point, but there was a lot that had to come out in this reading today. So forgive me for the lengthy reading. If you need to go and you're worried you're not going to see the oracles, which is honestly the most important part, it's going to be available for you on Tuned In Tarot YouTube every week. Monday and Wednesdays replays are available for anybody who subscribes to my YouTube. And on Fridays, I do a reading that is for, on Thursdays and Fridays, I do members only reading. One is a replay, so you can see it. That happens on Friday. But on Thursday, the Tell Me Everything spread is for members only, and it is not available on TikTok Live. Okay. Divine Masculine. Let's get your oracles done quick. Also, my brother's alarm's still going off. 12 o'clock. When do you think he's going to get up? What do you think? It's been like, when does the alarm start going off? I was like an hour ago. Okay. This is the archetype that the divine masculine needs to embody this week. And you're like, what the hell is that? It's nothing. It's just this. It's literally nothing. It says on the top, light attributes, There's nothing there. And it says on the bottom, shadow attributes. And this is, in this deck, they give you some cards if you want to make your own archetypes. You can color them in. It's kind of neat. I've never done that before, but I kept this one in the deck because I like this to be the blank slate card. It's like my equivalent of the Fool card, which we actually got twice in this reading and in the TikTok reading that got deleted. So the masculine is absolutely at a fresh starting point. His archetype right now is that he gets to design who he wants to be because he has released the past and he can start fresh. And he has a clean slate. And that is a very good thing. The other thing that's good is the guardian that's going to support him this week is his angel that will support him through being triumphant. So the guardian angel that is with him, helping him overcome and be triumphant. So this struggle is not going to be something that he cannot break through. He absolutely is going to overcome that struggle without any issues. The mindset that the masculine energy needs to embody this week is I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. And isn't that kind of just like having a blank slate? By seeing someone for the first time through the eyes of love. So no longer looking at himself and thinking about all the things he's done in the past, but seeing himself through the eyes of love, giving himself the clean slate that he needs. And yes, that is intense. I'm so glad you needed this. I'm seeing some of these comments here. Thank you so much for all the likes. I'm just noticing I have 8,000 likes. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. For some reason, my lives have not been going to the FYP or doing well that lately. Honestly, I think I have to start like having more gifts come in, or I don't know if my agency is going to keep me. It's fine though. I don't care. Like, I don't care if it's funny because I wanted management so bad and I'm just like, I could give a shit. Honestly, I'll just do it myself. Like, that's the kind of person I always am anyway. But I'm supposed to get like, I don't know what it is. I think we're supposed to get at least 10,000 diamonds or something. And I don't know. I don't know. So if you want to help me out, gifting is one of the ways to do it because it really does. TikTok has to make money on me or they don't want me. So if you're feeling generous, gifting when you see me live or gifting on my videos, it's one of the ways that will keep pushing my channel up so I can keep growing, just so you know that. But you being here is a gift to me, honestly. I do appreciate everybody who's here. Honestly, I care less about all of the things going on and more about the fact that there are people who clearly need these messages and want to hear them. And that's really the most important thing. But what the divine masculine needs to do right now is forgive himself, right? The reconciliation. We saw, thank you for that. I appreciate that. We saw him feeling all that emotion coming up when I don't even want to talk about it again. I feel like he's going to cry again. Stop crying to my mess. I can't. But when he felt how overburdened the feminine was and how unfair it was that he had laid that burden upon her, because he really did. Because here's the thing, the masculine keeping feminine on the hook means that she didn't get to be in any other partnerships. And being in a partnership, oh, that's the cutest gift. Thank you so much. I will pull a card for you for that one, Donna Delaware. If you're still here when we're done, I'll totally pull a card for you for that. It was so cute. A little heart coming out of the box. But this divine masculine for sure is feeling a lot of self-hatred, I'm hearing, actually, for how he treated the feminine. This is what's making it the most difficult to talk to her. And I understand, because I've thought about it a few times. I've thought about what my person could say that would, quote unquote, make up for what has happened. I really do just think I'm sorry is sufficient. Like, just acknowledging the emotion you feel about what you did. And like, remember, for me, there are 4 parts of an apology. Hi. I know you want to go downstairs. It's been a long time. We're usually done by now, huh? Yes. Yes, I know. You just got to wait a little longer. Sorry. 4 parts of an apology. The first part of the apology is simply, I'm sorry. The second part is, it was my fault. No excuses. You don't say, it was my fault, but I had to do X, Y, Z and all this stuff. Those things are valid, but they aren't valid in an apology. Okay? If somebody says, I accept your apology, you know, why did you do that? Then that's your point where you can say, well, this, that, and that, the other thing. But the apology itself is, I am sorry. It was my fault. What can I do to make it up to you? Please forgive me. Now, that person that I was talking to, that I was thinking like, wow, this person might be somebody that I actually could start a relationship with. When we first had the incident where we had the misunderstanding about timing and arriving at the same place and all this stuff, and he was just really inconsiderate of my time, very self-focused, fitting me into his schedule instead of carving space for me, which is what I had done for him. And you know, I when he called to apologize about the mix-up, he said, I'm sorry. It was my fault. Is there anything I can do to make it up to you? How about this? The next time you're in town, we'll go to the MFA. I'll take you to dinner. Okay? Like, I'm so sorry this happened. Please forgive me. I was like, wow. And that's why I gave him a second chance, because I hadn't really ever had an apology like that where someone just took accountability, right? And so thank you so much, Donna. I'm going to actually make you a moderator since you're kind of already doing that, if you don't mind, and I'm going to follow you also. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, it's a private account, so you have to give me permission too. Okay, so this masculine has to do that. All he has to do, he has to say, I'm sorry. It was my fault. What can I do to make it up to you? Now, that question for me, I don't really have an answer to, other than, you know, just show up. Like, just show up now. Like, I don't care what you did before. I don't even care your reasons. Like, I'm sure you had them. Everybody has reasons. Fine. It doesn't mean it didn't hurt. It doesn't mean that you don't need to do something that will make up for it. And that making up for it is that now you show up. And that's what I said to the person. I was like, it's fine. I just need you to show up now. And he said, okay, I will. And then he didn't. And I said, okay, listen, I gave you a chance to show up. It seems like this isn't a good time for you right now. And he said, yeah, like I have this. He gave me excuses. And I was like, cool. You know, when you're ready for something good, I wish you well. I hope it happens for you. But I'm ready now. So I'm going to go, and no hard feelings on my part. Right? So if the divine masculine promises to show up and then fails to do so, then you can make a judgment about whether or not the apology is genuine. But you do have to give time to let that person actually show up. I waited 2 weeks for the person to ever have another phone call with me again. And I'm sorry, but it shouldn't take you 2 weeks to talk to me if you're wanting to be in a relationship with me. You should talk to me the next day. You should talk to me the day after that. You don't have 5 minutes. You talk to me while you're taking a shit. I don't care. You don't have to tell me you're on the fucking toilet. Like, it doesn't matter. There's time in your day. 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 You know why? You make it. You make it. That's it. There's no other excuses. You can't give me any other excuses anymore. That's who this divine feminine is. That's why the divine masculine is feeling like she's in here. This is the no excuses bubble. I don't have anything I could say that would get me into the bubble unless I do what I say I'm going to do. Doesn't mean I can never, ever, ever make a mistake. You know, I can make a mistake, but I have to be accountable for the mistake. I have to recognize when I've made the mistake, and I have to do something about the mistake. Your spirit animal oracle, it throws it. We cannot stop getting this card. I get this card every day, and I keep talking about the little mouse charcuterie video. Have you seen that on TikTok? I'm into tiny things. So this little charcuterie mouse video, I can't. Somebody found a mouse in their kitchen, and they were like, instead of catching this mouse and putting it outside, I'm going to create a tiny charcuterie for it, put it on a little table, put dollhouse stuff around it, and take a video of it eating. And it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Okay, anyway, so here's a mouse spirit that won't go away. Number 40. Also, I wish my brother would get up. Get up! The protection message is, divine feminine, here's your problem. You want to know why you're not making any money? All right, I'll see you soon, Donna. The reason you're not making any money right now is, are you too caught up in details, micromanaging others and stressing out because you want everything to be perfect? What, me? I don't ever do that. Are you procrastinating because you want every detail to be just right and losing track of time and your priorities? Well, mouse spirit, wants you to listen to your intuition that tells you that the detail you fear you are overlooking will only appear when you stop obsessing. Mouse spirit will lead you to the nuances you need to notice and will diligently work to support you if you take a breath and trust that guidance will be provided. Small gestures carry great power right now, and maybe you need to take action toward discovering what is going on that you may or may not be seeing, or toward mending a relationship or a situation. Ask a question, do a little research, and listen for Mouse Spirit's quiet little squeak telling you, look here and attend to this detail. All right, masculine, get it done. All right, the final theme for you is the Aeon. This is literally judgment. It is about forgiveness. So we have forgiveness again. This is the awakening. Divine masculine has really got to work on those themes. Forgiving the self. This is the biggest problem. This is the biggest thing holding him back. Forgive yourself for not doing the work when you were supposed to, for being late, turning in the assignment, for getting distracted, for going off your path, for doubting that you could do it. And if you think I'm talking about the relationship with you, I'm not. I'm talking about your relationship with whatever you desire to do in the world. Music, writing, painting, dancing, making films, all of the creative things that you wanted to do since you were little and you didn't do. I want you to forgive yourself for not taking action when you wanted to do that thing, for not believing that you could have a sustainable, committed relationship with the thing that you want. Like right now, I was supposed to be doing a tour this month. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get myself to, I don't know what it was, like beg for shows or something, like send out booking emails. And I didn't know how I was going to afford to get to the places. I couldn't get over my fear and do it. So I don't have a tour scheduled. I'm going to cry about it, like just like this, right? Because my music is deeply, deeply crying for me to go and sing and perform and do what I love to do. And I haven't done it. And that is the masculine energy. Do you understand that? I can't be mad at my person for not coming to me, because I do the same thing in regards to what I really love. I also fear the thing that I love to do. I fear if I will be good at it. I fear if people will like it. Even when I know they will. Even when I know they do. But my subconscious fears of failure, rejection, abandonment, body image issues, age, the ability to sustain creativity, it has taken the joy out of even playing music to have that, to not forgive myself for being afraid, right? And I think that's what the masculine energy needs to forgive himself for. He is so emotional today. Wow. He absolutely has to forgive himself for being afraid. It is okay to be afraid. It is okay to be afraid. Bravery is being afraid and doing something anyway. And giving yourself the time and space to work up your courage, there is nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't feel bad about that. Okay, let's get to Divine Feminine. Your archetype, Divine Feminine. You're amazing. Let it out. Thank you. If incidentally you want to hear my music, which when you hear it, you will understand why I have to forgive myself for not doing it all the time, because you'll hear it and you'll be like, what the hell? Why? Why was she crying about her music? Why wasn't she getting on a stage and performing her music today? Because you're going to hear it and be like, it's like nothing you've ever heard before. My music is out of this world. Like people hear it and they're like, what? You're singing that? You made that? Yes, I did. I sang it, performed it, produced it all by myself, and it paid for it. Go listen to it. Listen to it all the time. It's called It's Me, Babe, Pearl in the Prayers. Send it to your friends. Help me be with my Divine Feminine. That's the only way I can do it, is if I am able to share it with others and really continue to grow in that relationship with her. So help me with that. Divine Feminine, you have become aware that someone or something is draining your life force. And you are no longer being depleted. This says depleting others for your psychic survival. So you're no longer depleting others for your psychic survival. You're no longer doing chronic complaining and having issues with codependency. That is gone. And you have recognized that someone or something was draining your energy and you have let them go. Hey, look, forgiveness. Like, I, the universe is like, okay, the reading's long. We'll just give her the same cards. She doesn't have to keep reading them. Just forgive yourself. The apology thing. I'm sorry. It was my fault. How do I make it up to you? And the last part is, please forgive me. You can't leave out the last part. You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive your person. Your person loves you. They did not do any of these things intentionally. This is the mindset you need to cultivate. Joy is the ultimate creator. I sat down with my spirit guides the other day. My guides led me to this live on purpose for sure. I'm so glad you're here. I was with my guides the other day. I gathered them around me. I was like, hey, archangels, get over here. I was very salty that morning. I was like, you listen to me. I refuse to sing a note for you or channel a message for you until I get paid. And I'm not talking just about material abundance, although you should also be giving me a lot of that at this point, universe. I'm talking about joy, because I don't feel joy anymore when I do music, and I always did, and I don't now. And I need you to help me feel joy again. And I also need to have a financial, stable environment in which to pursue my joy. So if y'all can't provide me with that, then I'm squandering this gift you gave me. And I'm stubborn as hell. So if you want people to hear my music, if you want my songs to get to the public, if you want my messages to come out, then pay me. Pay me. And pay me in joy. It doesn't have to be material. I just want to feel joy again. And when I'm this unstable and I don't have a comfortable environment and I have this stressful things happening, I can't tune into my joy. So I need your help. And also, why am I doing all this free work for you? Why am I giving all of these messages to people if y'all aren't supporting me? Spirit team, what's going on? And if it's me that's blocking myself, then unblock me, because I don't know what else I could possibly do. That was my conversation with my spirit team. My sister witch Ash in my coven, I told her, and she was like, you said what? And I was like, I'm not gonna sing a single note for anyone until you pay me. She was like, damn, I'm scared of what's going to happen. And I'm like, I'm not, because I felt my spirit team be like, yes, this is where, why have you been like, oh, please, can I have some abundance? Why would I need to beg? I don't need to beg. I just watched that Anna Delvey freaking show, Inventing Anna. And I was like, the one takeaway from this con artist that I'm going to keep is that bitch never begs. She just demands things. And that's why they gave her all that shit. And, kudos. Like, you do you, honey. Like, demand to your heart's content. Also, you have narcissistic personality disorder with obsessive compulsive lying issues and delusional tendencies, and probably borderline personality disorder. Sorry to hear about it. But anyway, hey, look, the career card is in reverse. What was I just crying about? Divine Feminine, you have to really believe that you get to have the career that you've always dreamed of having. I think that there is just still a little bit of fear that you cannot have this career that you've wanted, but you can, and you will, and you're building it right now. It's literally protected. Look at how this is protected. This is going to grow and develop, and there's nothing that's going to be able to stop it. Bowie, lay down. No, we're not doing that. Lay down, please. Thank you. I can't with this. When she starts to get antsy, it's frustrating. Frog Spirit is coming out. It is in reverse. It says clear out the clutter. I'm totally feeling that because my room right now feels like very noisy, even though I didn't really, what do I have in here? This Just feels crowded lately or something. The protection message of clear out the clutter is, what's weighing you down? Is it time for a spiritual and psychic cleansing? Are you overdue for letting go of the voices that surround you? They may have started to get into your head, these voices that bog you down and keep you from leaping forward into a better situation. Let others croak and create their dramas while you make space for yourself and for hearing your own thoughts as they arise. Declutter your schedule and stop trying to do it all and then some. Let others manage their own baggage rather than allowing it to be dumped on you, for your lily pad needs to be clear of others' clutter. Frog spirit may also come bearing a message about your physical space. Do you hold on to things because you are afraid of losing your energetic connection to the past, to people who are no longer in your life, or to goals you never pursued? Staring at my keyboard next to me. Or could you have these items around because you would feel guilty if you got rid of them? Oh my God. I'm just starting to think about how in my own life, to a certain extent, I feel guilty if I don't do music. Or are your storage and living spaces stuffed with reminders of what you are not, when they should be holding only objects that reflect who you are and aspire to be? That's like keeping clothes that don't fit you because you're going to fit into them someday. First of all, why? Why don't you just enjoy the body you have now and put clothes on it that you love to wear? Why are you anticipating clothes? Why don't you get that same outfit in the size that fits you and put it on your butt? Like, and not be fixated on the loss of space you take up. You know, women constantly having to diet for me is just another place where men require women to stop taking up so much space. Ew. No, I'll take up as much space as I goddamn well please. And I will nourish myself with all of the abundance that's available to me. And in fact, the only time that my weight was going up and up and up and up and up is when I was trying to control it so that I took up less space. And I went to this nutritionist that specialized in binge eating disorders, and I thought she was going to put me on some kind of crazy diet. And the first day I go into her office, she was like, I want you to go to a big box company like Sam's Club or whatever, and I want you to pick out your 3 favorite candy bars. She's like, what are they? And I was like, Milky Way, Butterfinger, and maybe Kit Kat or something. She's like, okay, I want you to buy a box of each of those. And then I want you to have a candy bar every single day. You have to. And I was like, okay, well, that's not really a challenge. I mean, I have to. She's like, yeah, you have to. So I went to the grocery store. I bought these boxes of candy bars. You know, in the past, I would sneak out, get 5 candy bars and eat them all in the car and cry, right? No, I had full permission to get candy bars. Get the candy bars. I'm so excited. She's like, you can even eat more than one a day if you want, but you have to have one every single day. So every single day I was like, oh, I have my candy bar. And I remember my ex-husband at the time, who was not supportive about my body in any way, shape, or form, even though he married me and I always had a big body, but whatever. He was like not thinking that my nutritionist was very smart because now I'm getting all this candy and whatever. And then it happened, probably not right away, maybe not even quick, but like probably a month or so later. I had this one day. I was a mom at the time, took care of my kid. We had a fun day. I remember I was working on music. My friend and I were writing a song. I worked on that, was reading books, doing all this stuff. And I remember very clearly going into the bathroom that night, really tired, about to go to bed, brushing my teeth. And I was like, shit, I didn't have a candy bar. And then I realized why my nutritionist had sent me home with 3 boxes of candy bars, so that I could have that moment. So that I could have the moment where I was standing in front of the mirror brushing my teeth and make a choice that was like, I don't want that right now. I'm going to sleep and I'm brushing my teeth. It won't taste good. I'm not hungry. I just want to go to bed, right? This food that always controlled me in the past, the existence of it, I had to have it. I was forbidden, so I would have as much as I could, and I would sneak it, I would hide it. I was allowed to nourish myself, which means I finally finally made a choice that was about what I wanted for my body, that was positive and healthy. And I did it not because I was on a crazy diet that told me I had to make it. I did it because I had lived my life that day and been very present in my life and didn't need to numb my feelings that day for whatever reason. It was a good day. I worked on music and felt fulfilled and satiated. And I cried. I remember I like cried so hard, realizing that candy, sugar, like numbing myself no longer had power over me, but my feelings about how I felt in my body did. I feel so humbled by that. When I think about that, it was years ago. And now, you know, I appear fat to those of you who see me. And please don't, I can't say when people are like, you're not fat. First of all, that's insulting. Second of all, that's also fat phobic because like everybody has fat on their bodies. I'm a 41-year-old woman and I've had a baby. I come from an Italian family who was literally obsessed with food. Like my body's size, the way it looks, it's pretty natural for me. And I've lost a lot of weight. So, outside of what I had on my body, and I didn't do it from dieting. I did it from eating a candy bar every day if I wanted to. All right, that was a side, but that must be for somebody who needed to hear it. Incidentally, if you're interested in spiritual nourishment, somebody just called me. Okay, sorry, I got a phone call there. If it paused for a minute, but if you're interested in spiritual nourishment, food type issues on Sundays, the whole day is about spiritual nourishment. So in the morning, I talk about the intuitive principles of eating and all kinds of stuff, and different topics about nourishing and moving your body and all that kind of stuff is on Sundays. There's also a course. I think there's a link in the Tuned In Tarot YouTube box, and there's a link in my profile on TikTok for the spiritual nourishment course, because I do have actually a 4-week self-directed course that you can do too if you're interested in it. And on Sundays, I read from that course so you can see what it's like if you want to preview it before you purchase it for yourself. But that's an aside, sorry. The final theme for the Divine Feminine, we already saw today. It is the 10 of Pentacles. Here's the thing. I have been getting a feeling that there is this big, huge, abundant, and it's like material, love, family, everything. And I've been having a feeling that it's just about to dump. Like, because literally this whole thing right here of the Divine Feminine doing all this work, if you've been doing all this work and you're being creative and you're nurturing the things that you love in this world, you can't be in poverty. It's literally repellent. You're repelling lack mentality from you at this moment. And yes, I feel very beautiful. Actually, somebody's saying beauty comes in many forms. Yes, I feel very beautiful. I now do feel beautiful. I definitely have self-doubt about my body from time to time, especially because in the industry I'm in, it's not as common. I mean, you can name, you can count off on your hands the artists that are allowed to be artists and also allowed to be whatever body type they are. And one of them is no longer that body type either. So now you can't even count her either. But I have grown to come to love myself and see my body as sensual and attractive. But it's difficult because the society doesn't want us to think that, because then we won't buy the products that will change our bodies. And if we don't buy the products that will change our bodies, what will they do? I don't know. Like, I don't know. If you make things people don't need, I guess you should make things people need instead. So the archetypes for this is the last part of the reading, finally at 2 hours. My brother's alarm clock is still going off. I just want you to know, I feel like this is just ridiculous at this point, and it's like the 20th alarm. We've literally heard every alarm that comes with the iPhone this morning. The Divine Masculine needs to wake up. The Divine Masculine needs to wake up. Please wake up, okay? So the archetypes coming out for both the masculine and the feminine right now, we have the Mediator in reverse, and the shapeshifter. So let's do mediator first. So right now you are needing to release negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. And come into the light, which is a gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life and a respect for both sides of the argument. You both need to shift into the balance, respecting both sides of the argument and coming to some kind of a negotiation between you, right? The whole conversation I had with that person, hey, let me make it up to you. You love museums. Can I take you to the MFA? Can I take you to dinner? What's funny is he slipped up when he said that to me. He said something, I didn't hear it completely because it was on the phone, and he said something about expensive. And I think he said, if it's like, he's like, I don't know, it might be expensive or something. It was like under his breath or muttered. And I was like, this is a sign of my ex. Ooh, interesting. My mother just entered my brother's room and said he has to get out. That's fine. Okay. 23. Okay. So the other archetype for the divine masculine and feminine is the shapeshifter. This is skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. So releasing, projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. So right now you both are very skilled, I think, at moving between 3D and 5D versions of self. So people talk about this 3D and 5D stuff all the time. And I've seen this new thing, and I'm sure it's not new, but I've started seeing it lately where there's all these people that are like, we have to live in the 5D and stuff. And I'm like, no, you already are in the 5D and you're experiencing the 3D, and you're not supposed to leave the 3D. You're supposed to enjoy the 3D. That's the whole point. That's the heaven on earth thing. It's not, and it's super privileged to be like, listen, I'm like spiritually ascended, and so like I'm in my 5D world, there like isn't suffering and poverty and stuff. No, you can't ignore. What being 5D isn't ignoring that there are people that aren't in that level of consciousness. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of taking issue with that whole, like, we're going to leave the 3D behind thing. Like, no, I don't think so. I think we came to the 3D from the 5D for a purpose, not to leave it. I think to enjoy it. And so stick around. The water's nice. Okay. The water's fine. But you're navigating, going between that consciousness and then bringing that spiritual revelation, truth, or whatever down into the physical, grounding it into the physical. So you're doing a good job of like understanding a spiritual concept, like manifesting through your thoughts, and then actually applying that spiritual concept in the 3D, navigating through the different levels of consciousness. And you can see the potential in everything right now. This guardian angel is coming out, and this is in reverse. When I get a reversal on a guardian card, it doesn't mean they're not helping you. It means you need a lot of help to get moving. You are not moving out of the place where you are. Did you notice? Like, your mind is ready to go, but your physical body hasn't caught up yet, and there is that feeling of a disconnect. And just to prove that, it's right here. Here is the mind, okay? Poverty, the heart, wealth. If you are in conflict from head and heart here, if you can't bring this feeling of wealth into your thoughts, you can't see it in the physical. So the divine feminine has to tune into the wealth, overcoming the thoughts of poverty in order to bring that into the physical, to create movement. If you are, this is like a picture, two train engines, okay? One engine is pulling this way. Let's go. We want to move into the state of abundance and wealth. And the other engine facing the opposite direction is pulling this way. I doubt that I will be able to experience abundance. And so you're just not moving. You're just not moving. You have to overcome the thoughts of poverty so that you can go in one direction. That's the only way this is going to work. And if you're like, well, I don't know how to do that, there's a lot of different techniques. One that I'm trying right now is I do affirmations, which I started doing really regularly every single night before I go to sleep, recorded in my own voice in 3 parts. I am, I have, and then posing a question like, isn't it amazing how I have and I am this thing? Okay. I've been doing that since February. I've experienced a lot of shifts. A lot of things have gone well or worked out, but I still have this kind of an energy. This like, so the newest thing I have added, and it's been for 2 nights that I've been doing it, is I saw a law of assumption video that said, try adding, I know I am, I know I have, and I trust I am, and I trust I have, and then listening to the affirmations. So I re-recorded a bunch of them, added that, and now I say, I know I am, I trust I am, and thank you for taking your time. I'm so grateful. Seriously, you needed this today. Oh, you're welcome, Amy. I'm glad that you had the time to be with me here today. And thanks to everybody who's been here. 11,000 likes is incredible. I'm so thankful for that. And I appreciate the gifts. If you've given me a gift and I've said I was going to pull a card for you, I am almost done with this, and I will be doing the pulling of cards for people that have given me a gift. Somebody gave, it was Donna. She gave me a gift with a box. I wanted to do a card for that. And then I will do paid readings if anybody is wanting that. But it's time to move. It's time to move out of the stuck headspace and just use that affirmation to change your thinking and see how it goes. Here's the mindset that needs to be cultivated by the 2 of you. Instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good of all. Here's the thing about that. You might feel resistant to that because your ego tells you that if you don't pray for the outcome of the person that you want to be with, that you don't get to be with that person. And so praying for the highest good of all might mean that you don't get to be with your person. What if it does? What if it does mean that you get to be with your person? And the whole time that you're praying for this outcome of being with your person, you are showing that you don't have faith that what is for the highest good of all is being with your person. Because if you really believe that the person is the person you've asked for, then the highest good of all is that end result. So if your ego chafed at this card today, I want you to rethink this, because when you pray for a specific person, you're basically praying again and again, and you're asking for the same thing over and over again. I'm a mom. Okay. I have a 16-year-old now somehow. I mean, look at me. Listen, I wasn't a teen when I had him either. I was 25. I just look this good, okay? But I have a 16-year-old. And let me tell you, if my 16-year-old wanted something when he was little, like 5, 6, I had this deal with him. If you want something, ask me one time. I will give you an answer. Ask me if you don't like the answer. Ask me a second time. I will give you the answer. If you ask me a third time, there is no way on God's green earth that you will ever get that thing that you just asked me for. Because I told you I would give it to you at a certain time. You need to trust that it's going to happen. And if you're going to keep bugging me about it, we're not doing that today. Because I'm not going to have you sitting here every 5 minutes being, I want to go outside. I told you we will go outside as soon as we have completed picking up the blocks, putting on our coat, getting our shoes on. I don't want to pick up the blocks. I want to go outside. Okay, well, you asked me for something and I told you it's going to happen. So either we continue about our business and then go do that thing you asked me for, or we don't have to do that today. That's the kind of mom I am. And I'm pretty much a stickler for what I said. So if you would bug me again, I'd be like, not today. Not today. You just lost your opportunity. And it's kind of like that. You're kind of saying, please, can I go outside? And the universe is like, yes, listen, you're going to go outside. Right now, look, it's 20 below zero. You can't go outside yet. You got to wait till the snow melts a little bit more, then you can go outside. And if you're just like, please, but I just really want to go outside, though. Like, I just think I need to go outside right now. Like, I think that's the best thing for me is to go outside. I won't feel better until I go outside. I really swear the universe and its parent energy is like, ask me again. Ask me again. Ask me one more time. done. Done. Stop asking for the specific person and believe that you are going to get what is for the highest good of all. And you're going to love it. You're going to love it because you always think you know what you need. And then I do that thing at the beginning and I'm like, oh, think about what you need. And y'all are like, I need communication, or I need union, or I need money. And then I pull the card and it's like, no, you don't. You need justice. You need to balance the scales out. This is what you actually need that would make you feel better. But your brain has convinced you of something else that won't make you feel better. And then you're upset because you're like, I asked you to make me feel better and you won't give me this thing. And the universe is just like, I can't. I'm done. Like, I need a new job. Why did I agree to this? Why did I do this to myself? Right? Peace. You both need peace. That's it. There's so much drama. There's so much drama. Just relax. Just be at peace. The reason why you want to be with this person or manifest this thing or overcome whatever this is because you want to experience joy, fulfillment, and peace. But you don't need a physical thing to get those things. Those things are inherent in every moment. So your peace is only as far away as your ability to tune into it. It's not brought to you by another person. It's not brought to you by an event that happens in the world or a physical thing. Peace just comes from an agreement we make to no longer allow the tumultuous thoughts we are having to cause reactivity in our heart space. It's breathing deeply and tuning in to the Holy Spirit or whatever you call that energy. That is what connects us with the divine. Time for beginner mind, do you think? We got the Fool card quite a bit today, so I think both of us are definitely in need of beginner mind. It is number 48, and it is the protection message. And that message says, are you feeling prickly and defensive lately and assuming you will be hurt before you have seen any sign that such a reaction is called for? Perhaps an old sense of guilt and shame is causing you to be cynical and wary when you are meant to be open and curious. Self-protection is a good thing, but you may be protecting yourself from something that will not actually harm you, but instead will bring you abundance, happiness, and love. Remember your innocence, and you will see what you have been overlooking. Porcupine quills are filled with air, allowing the porcupine to float in water. Now is the time to let your innocent nature keep you buoyant. Immediate call out. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Who's moderating? It's Luna. I didn't see you come in, babe. Hi, Luna. Thank you so much. All right. The final card for this union. Not one I expected to see. Not one that comes out a lot from the Thoth Tarot as the main theme, but it is actually the Queen of Cups today. The Queen of Cups is psychic, sensitive, caring, compassionate, kind, loving, empathetic, magic, and very, very able to navigate her emotions. So the divine masculine that was having a lot of tears coming up during this this justice about, or this injustice in regards to the feminine being so overburdened, it's allowing himself to feel those feelings, but being able to tread water in them, basically being able to navigate those big, unwieldy feelings. All right. It is 2 hours and 18 minutes since the beginning of this video on YouTube. So I am done. I just want to thank everybody who has stayed for this entire reading over here. I do still have some energy to do private readings. So if you're over here on YouTube and you would like a private or a personal reading rather, I'm doing them for $22 and $33. Also, I have a card to pull for somebody who gave me a gift during the reading. I want to give you a card. If you're still here, Donna, I don't know if she came back, but thank you so much for everybody who's been here. If you didn't get to see the full collective reading, it is available right now on Tuned In Tarot YouTube. Those of you on YouTube, oh, it's Amy. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you again, YouTube people, on Wednesday for the Origins of the Twin Flame class. You can also catch me again if you are a member via the unlisted Tell Me Everything playlist for members. You will see the new Tell Me Everything spread I will do on Thursday. On Friday, you will have access, if you are a member, to the replay of the Learn Tarot and Divine Tune-In. We are going to be at 12 weeks, which means we have 11 other readings that, oh, a corgi. Thank you for the corgi, baby. So we will have 12 cards from the Hermetic Tarot that I have gone over. So if you're somebody who's wanting to learn how to read the cards, this is a really fun reading because it's not just me pulling a card and being like, this card means blah, 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 blah. I do that, but then I shuffle the deck and I get the card that fits the energy of the connection. And then I find that card in the masculine deck and a feminine deck. So you're going to get a bunch of different takes, a masculine and a feminine take on the journey that involves that specific card. So if you're interested in seeing the replays of that, you can become a member at the link in my profile here on TikTok or below here. It's only $5.55 and you get all the readings back through January. So there's a ton of content there that's not available anywhere else. Trying to think if there's anything else. You can see the Learn Tarot and Divine Tune-In on Fridays at, I think it's 1 p.m. So if you're interested in seeing the live, if you don't want a membership at this time, but you just want to catch the live, it's Friday at 1. You can catch me on Wednesday for the class at 8 in the morning. I'm going to be doing a collaborative reading, collaborative readings with Luna here, the Crafty Country Witch over here on TikTok, and Cora Renee 1. We're going to do a triple goddess readings for you. So you get 3 readers for the price of 1. I think we agreed on like $30. So for $30, you're going to get 3 different readers reading for you, which is really cool, actually. And we usually take certain things like masculine, feminine, and the connection, or light, shadow, and like the connect, like different things like that we've done. So I'm looking forward to that. Join me for that. That's on Wednesday evening around, what do we say, 11 or 10:30 or 11? I can't remember, Eastern Standard Time. I'll post an event for it, so you'll see. And finally, let me think if there's anything else. Is there anything else? Oh, Thursday, I am doing finances and career is the focus. You can still come and get personal reading. You can ask about love if you want to for personal readings, but my theme for the collective, the little mini collective reading that I'm going to do is about career and finance, because Thursdays magically is a good time to deal with those topics. So if you're interested in that, that's going to be at 12 p.m. on Thursday. And Saturday, I do the extended Tell Me Everything spread at 11 in the morning. I do a tarot and chill around 8 p.m. that night. The next morning around 8, I do the Nourishing Tarot, which we talk about intuitive eating, all that kind of stuff I mentioned in this reading. And that evening, 4 p.m., we do another tarot and chill that's about spiritual nourishment as well. You can check my TikTok profile for my TikTok schedule that I just told you about. If you want to know if I'm going to be going live, that's the best place to find out. Thank you for saying I'm amazing. Luna's not on this side, so she can't tell you not to feed compliments to the Leo, but somebody's got to make me a sign. It's going to have to be in mirror writing, though, for TikTok. And shit, like we could put it like right here. Like, don't feed compliments to the Leo. Like, my head is big enough. It is. I mean, if you want to get on my good side, you just compliment me a lot. That's all you got to do. Hi, Juanita. How are you? So glad the TikTok algorithm led me to you today. Me too, because I didn't think it was leading people to me very much. Okay, bye, YouTube. I will see you soon, and I'm going to be over here on TikTok if you still want to see me. Take care. Oh my gosh, I need coffee.